next topic is of curl of a vector or else a Stokes theorem. Here the Stokes theorem will be coming in the third module again. Now only I will go through the Stokes theorem here only, and again will go in the again we'll write of how a Stokes theorem is going to be in the third module also. What is this curl is going to giving us the information for our electromagnetic field. The curl of a vector, here the definition is going to be the curl of a vector A is an axial, means in which direction it is moving, or a rotational vector whose magnitude is maximum, with maximum circulation of vector A per unit area. Means for a point charge, how much the area it is going to be taking in a circular fashion or else in a rotational fashion. What is maximum magnitude I can get? Magnitude is maximum circulation of vector A per unit area. As the area tends to be 0 and whose direction is in the normal direction of area, when the area is oriented to make the circulation maximum. The area that which it is giving the maximum magnitude for that charge. That is about our curl of a vector. The curl of a vector, here we can write as curl of vector A, or else del operator with a cross product of vector A is going to be limit where our delta surface area is going towards 0, as already we taken in the previous way also. The equation is going to be limit delta S area is going tends towards 0. Therefore, closed integral of vector A dot dl divided by delta S with a maximum value, and direction is depends on the in which way it is going to be moving. That is here taken as unit vector an. Then where delta area delta S is bounded by the curl L and unit vector an is the unit vector of the normal to the surface delta S, and is determined by using of a right hand rule. We already come across how the direction of the any of the unit vector I can take the area, that is by using of your right hand rule, or how our thumb is going to be direction in clockwise or anti-clockwise, in which way it is moving we can take that value here. Then consider a differential area of a, here it is varying in terms of y and z plane. Observe here, this is a yz plane. Here a point P is representing here, and it is having the rectangular shaped A, B, C, D. Here it is the distance dy, and here it is of dz. The figure is of contour used to evaluating of a x component of delta cross vector A at point P of x0, y0 and z0. The line integral is going to be obtained. Line integral in the previous case we taken as front, back, up, down, right, top, bottom. How here it is taken in the same way. Here also we are going to be in the all the surfaces. Therefore, integration, closed integration with L of vector A dot dl is going to be, observe here, integration AB plus integration BC plus integration CD, then plus integration DA with A vector A dot dl vector dl displacement, how much it's going to be. Then expanding the field component of in a Taylor series method about the center point of P, x0, y0 and z0. Then I can, for the side AB, our dl is going to be, for this side dy unit vector ay, only of in this direction it is moving, and for z is going to be z0 minus dz by 2. Therefore, integration of with respect to AB, A vector A dot dl is going to be dy, this dy, the unit vector, that is our component ay x naught y naught z naught minus dz by 2 of dou ay divided by dou z with that point P. This is our for the face AB. In the same way, for the face on side of BC, dl is going to be dz az and y is going to be y naught plus dy by 2 at BC. This one will be the integration BC A dot dl is going to be equals to, here dz or az is going to be component vector az xy x naught y naught z naught plus, here it is of plus dy by 2 dou az by dou y with maximum value for the P. In the same way, for the CD, here it is going to be opposite AB, opposite is going to be DC. So CD is going to be integration of CD vector A dot dl is going to be minus dy ay with the x naught y naught z naught plus dz divided by 2 dou ay divided by dou z with respect to P. Next, on side of last one is of dA is going to be dl is going equals to dz az, then y is equals to y naught minus dy by 2. Therefore, integration dA vector A dot dl is going to be equals to minus dz az of x naught y naught z naught minus dy by 2 dou az divided by dou y with P. Then therefore the delta of S is going to be equals to, it is in terms of our area is only of dy with respect to dz. For that reason dy dz it's going to be, then limit delta S tends to 0, closed integral of vector A dot dl divided by delta S is going to be equals to dou az divided by dou y minus dou ay divided by dou z. With respect to y and with respect to z, it is going to be varying. Therefore, the curl of a vector A with respect to x component is going to be equals to dou az divided by dou y minus dou ay divided by dou z. This is our equation for the x component. Then the y and x component of curl, sorry, here it is z components of a curl of vector A can be found in the same way how it is determined here. Therefore, curl of a vector A with respect to y component is going to be dou ax divided by dou z minus dou az divided by dou x will be getting. Then for curl of vector A with respect to z component is going to be dou ay divided by dou x minus dou ax divided by dou y. This is what you have to remember this equation. That the definition of a curl of a vector A is independent of the coordinate system. This is what here it is. It is not depending on any of the coordination systems. Then in Cartesian coordinate system, the curl of a vector is going to be written as del of a vector A is going to be ax, ay, az. Here dou by dou x, dou by dou y, dou by dou z, and then the component of each of our vector ax, ay and az. Or else you can expand this, then a del of vector A is going to be dou az divided by dou y minus dou ay divided by dou z with the unit vector ax. Same thing what we how we are going to finding of the determinant of a matrix. The same way we have to expand here. Then dou ax divided by dou z, dou ax divided by dou z minus dou az divided by dou x with the ay, unit vector ay, plus then these two multiplication, then dou ay divided by dou x minus dou ax divided by dou y into unit vector az. This is in terms of a Cartesian coordinate system. In terms of a cylindrical coordinate system, we can write here as del of vector A is going to be equals to 1 by rho. Here A rho in rho into A pi, then it is of unit vector Az. Here it is going to be varying with respect to rho, pi and z. For that reason, rho divided by dou rho, dou divided by dou pi, dou divided by dou z. Here AP, rho into AP, then AZ. Then again, just going on expansion of this vector, this then you will be getting of del of vector A is going to be multiply 1 by rho for the whole. It is multiplied and then it is here it is written. You will be getting the equation as 1 by rho dou Az divided by dou pi minus dou A pi divided by dou z into with the unit vector A rho plus dou AP divided by dou z minus dou Az divided by dou p into A pi plus 1 by rho dou into rho of A pi divided by dou rho minus dou A rho divided by dou pi with the unit vector Az. In terms of a spherical coordinate system, del of vector A is going to be 1 divided by r square sin theta. Here it is going to be ar into a theta, r sin theta, a pi. Here it is varying with r, theta and pi. Therefore, dou divided by dou r, dou divided by dou theta, dou divided by dou pi. And here it is going to be components ar, r into a theta, r into sin theta, a pi. You will be getting out. Then again, go on expanding this. Del into vector A is going to be 1 divided by r sin theta, then dou into a pi sin theta divided by dou theta minus dou a theta divided by dou pi into ar plus 1 by r into 1 by sin theta dou ar divided by dou pi minus dou r a pi divided by dou r into a theta, then plus 1 by r dou r a theta divided by dou r minus dou ar divided by dou theta into a pi. Just you have to find the determinant of this matrix, what you will be getting. Same method what you will going to be using of in the previous in your mathematics, how you are taking the equation. Here also you have to write this. Okay, this is our curl of a vector is giving the maximum amplitude of that point where it is circulated for that point. This is the information about our curl of a vector. Curl of a vector in terms of a Cartesian, just you remember this determinant of matrix, then it will be easy to expand. In terms of a Cartesian cylindrical, this equation is easy. This matrix you can remember when compared to the whole equation. Just remember this, substitute the values here, then go on deriving of those. In terms of cylindrical and also in terms of a spherical coordination system. Then the properties of a curl. The curl of a vector field is another vector field. Curl of a vector field is the one more vector field. This is the one property. Then del of cross a plus b, vectors a plus b. When I'm going to add 2 in terms of a curl of a function, it's going to be curl of vector a plus curl of vector b. Then when it is going to be multiplied, then it is going to be vector a del of dot of vector b minus b vector b del of del dot vector a then plus vector B dot del of vector A minus vector A dot del into vector B you will be getting. Then del of V with vector A is going to be V del cross vector A plus del V cross vector A. Then the divergence of the vector divergence of the curl of a vector field is going to be vanishing. Divergence of a curl of a vector field is 0. Del dot of del cross A bar is going to be equals to 0. Then the curl of a gradient of a scalar field is going to be vanishing. Curl of a divergence is also 0. Then curl of a gradient is also going to be 0 only. Del cross del is equals to 0. Here it is written. Then the physical significance of a curl of a vector field. The curl provides the maximum value of the circulation of the field per unit area. What the definition is going to be. Or else a circulation density it will be giving and indicates the direction along which the maximum value is going to be occurring. Whether I have to move in x direction, y direction, or else in a z direction. In which direction if I move, I will be getting the maximum amplitude. That information is given by our curl of a vector. Then the curl of a vector field A at point P may be regarded as a measure of the circulation, or how much the field curl around the P, or else what is the field for it is surrounded by the P. That information also it is giving. Here a small example here given for figure A shows the curl of a vector field around P is directed out the page. It's going outward. Each of the field it's going outward with the direction out of the page they are telling. Then figure B shows the vector field with the 0 curl. It's not moving only. It is not surrounding for it is just moving independently. For that reason curl here will be 0. Here we don't know what's the value, but we can get the maximum amplitude for this. The magnitude for this. Also from the definition of a curl of a vector we can define that closed integral with L dot A vector A dot dl is going to be integration del cross A bar dot ds bar. This equation is given by the person, that is by the name Stokes. For that reason they given the name as a Stokes theorem. What is this Stokes theorem is stating for us? It states that the circulation of a vector field means the circulation. What is how much it's circulating? It's not in a circular fashion only. It's not in a circle only. It may have rectangular. It may have any of the shapes, but it should be circled. Means it should be covered by some of the area. That's what the states that the circulation of a vector field A around a closed path. It should be a closed path L. The path what it's going to be taking it is L. It is equals to the surface integral of the curl. Surface integral of the curl of vector A over the open surface S. Open surface S bounded by L means bounded by the path L, provided a vector A and a curl of a vector R continuous on S. It should be a continuous path. It should not break anywhere. It should be a continuous path for the field where it is located. That's what the Stokes theorem it is given. Here a small figure it is given. It is whole surface S, a closed path here it is taken. It is having in this direction. ds, a small differential surface ds. Then here it is of a small differential length, that is dl. and this is the closed path L. The proof of a Stokes theorem is similar to that of the divergence theorem, what we taken in the previously. It is similar to that. The surface S, whole surface S, is subdivided into a large number of cells. Observe here, this ds bar, a small differential surface, is taken and represented in this figure. In the figure, again a small area, number of cells, it is divided. For those, it is circulated with the one more rectangular fashion. Here it is one for the circular, again one more. Like this, here it is going to be subdivided into a large number of cells shown in figure. Like this, it is subdivided. If the kth cell has surface area, if the last cell has in surface area as delta of Sk and is bounded by the path Lk, it's bounded by its a path. This is the path of this, for this, for this, and for this. In like this, for all the paths is bounded by path Lk. Then integration of closed integration of length path L vector A dot dl is going to be equals to summation with k integration of closed integration. Here is length is going to be taken, the path is going to be taken for the kth element for the reason Lk, then vector A dot dl, that is going to be equals to, this equation is nothing but summation equal to k integration of Lk A dot dl divided by delta of Sk, delta of Sk. I can write it. As shown in the figure, there are cancellation on every interior path. So the sum of the line integrals around the Lk is same as the line integral around the bounding curve L. Observe here, the direction of here, in this direction it is moving. For this, again just observe the direction how it is written here. Again it is in a reverse direction, means for one it is in one direction, for other it is in other direction. So it will be cancelling by itself. That's what the meaning here it is telling for us. Interior path, so the sum of the line integrals, the cancellation, sum of the line integrals around the Lk is the same for one. If I found out, it will be same for the all. The line integral around the bounding curve L. Therefore, the taking the limit of the right hand side of the above equation of this part. Therefore, as delta S is going to be 0, as delta S is going to be 0, then integration of L, closed integration of L, vector A dot dl is going to be integration for in terms of a surface area, that is S, del of vector A, it's nothing but curl of A vector A dot ds bar. This is what it's given. Equation is representing about our Stokes theorem. It's nothing but the whole path what I am going to be. If I found out for a small element of the surface, if I found out what might be the curl of this part, then it is easy to find the whole path surrounded by that point. That's what the information it is giving for us from the Stokes theorem. And the direction of dl and the ds must be chosen using of a right hand rule or else by using of a right hand screw rule. Already we learned how it is going to be taken. Using the right hand rule, if we let the figures points in the direction of dl, in which direction it is moving, here it is taking the direction of dl. Observe here, this direction means right hand rule direction, the angle it is moving, direction of ds bar in the figure 1. Then note that whereas the divergence theorem relates to a closed surface integral to a volume integral, but our Stokes theorem relates to the closed line integral to an open surface integral. when I am going to be divergence theorem, it is in terms of a volume integral, but here we are going to be from closed line integrals to the open surface integral. That is the difference between a divergence theorem and to the Stokes theorem. It's all about our Stokes theorem. This topic is important. Stokes theorem and curl of a vector. This will be asking for 6 marks. First, you have to define what do you mean by a curl of a vector. Then write the equation. After writing the equation, take an example of any of the two varying components where our curl should be obeying the definition. Then take the equation for vector A with the displacement, that is line integral equation. Then find out for integration of AB for all the each elements. Then add of those. Then go delta S is going is sending towards the 0. Then you will be getting the equation as dou Az divided by dou y minus dou Ay divided by dou z. This is for vector curl of vector A with respect to x component, the same way y and z component. Then in terms of a Cartesian, cylindrical, and about a spherical system. Up to this, if they are asking for the curl of a vector, up to this you have to write. When they ask for Stokes theorem, then go for writing from the Stokes theorem. Stokes theorem, it will be important for 4 marks. This part, it will be coming in our third module. Here only it will be easy to remember. For that reason, just I taken this. One more time, we'll go with this part again in the third module, third or second module. This is about the curl of a vector or else our Stokes theorem. Next, a very important topic, that is about our Coulomb's law. Can anyone tell where